Namaskar, Jai Sharam, Jai Jalaram. My fellow Raghuvansis, what an honor and a privilege for me to stand before such a distinguished entrepreneurs, business leaders, and visionaries who embody the spirit of enterprise and success. She gave a very brief introduction of myself. She mentioned Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak was the one I interviewed to become a member of parliament. And luckily, I've been part of his journey to become the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Similarly, some 18 months ago, a young Lohana girl, 5'2", was interviewed by me. She became the first Lohana Indian to become Member of Parliament for Leicester East. Her name is Shivani Raja. She'll be here tomorrow. From what Subhash tells me, because the House was called urgently, she couldn't be here today. I'm sure you'll be happy to listen to Shivani tomorrow. And as a proud Lohana and a Member of Parliament in the United Kingdom for the past 15 years, my journey from the age of 16 from Uganda to UK, not merely an immigrant experience, but a testament to the resilience, adaptability, and entrepreneurial spirit of our Lohana DNA. There are many here today of similar experience. Of course, difficult to mention all the names, but Pradeep Damecha is one of them. So is Subhash Sakra, who was the chairman of London Chamber of Commerce, the first Indian to ever hold that position, and of course makes amazing contribution to our country. And Satish Bhai mentioned few names. The history of Lohana is amazing. Danji Kaldas Betha, who was the first president of this organization, came to Uganda some 120 years ago. Nanji Kaldas Betha, his children Mahendra Bhai, and grandchildren continue to prosper and help Uganda's economy. One other good example is Mulji Bhai Madhwani. His son Mayur also will be here most likely tomorrow. In fact, Madhwani makes about 10% of GDP of Ugandan economy. And there are many other Lohanas. There are many other Lohanas who came on the shore of Mombasa with a view to move to Uganda on the shore of Lake Victoria, because most of them are surrounded by Lake Victoria. And of course, one of the good entrepreneurs in Uganda today is Sudhir Bhai Ruparelia, which our president mentioned very well. But today I'm here to take you around the world. The world has changed. And explore the shifting landscape of geopolitics, which has an impact on the global economy and the way we conduct business and how we connect with each other across the world. The world, as we know, is changing, and we are seeing its consequences right across the globe. Let me start with America, a nation that has historically been a cornerstone of global politics and economic power. Donald Trump has exposed the complexities of US foreign policy by imposing tariffs upon the world, which will have a serious impact worldwide. He is showing little respect to the rule of law, and democracy is at risk. The result is that countries who align closely with America can be dangerous, not just for adversaries, but even for allies. On April 2nd, Donald Trump announced the biggest break in American trade policy in over a century and committed the most profound, harmful, and unnecessary economic error in the modern era. This reminds me of a quote from Henry Kissinger. To be an enemy of the United States is dangerous, but to be a friend is fatal. From tariffs and the missteps in Ukraine to rising tension in the Middle East and the trade war with China, Trump's Liberation Day some 5 days ago has abandoned the world trading order and embraced protectionism. The administration is, you have to forgive me, I had a cataract surgery not long ago, so I find it difficult to read, but I will read, don't read. Trump administration is imperialist at heart. We do what we want, we do when we want. For us, United Kingdom and Europe, we need independent foreign policy and rethinking of our alliance with the United States. The state must behave like a business. And if it continues with tariffs and other things, we will have a recession and maybe even a depression. Recession is when your neighbor loses his job. Depression is when you lose your job. So all freedom-loving nations of the world must induce America to change. I'll now go to Europe. We find ourselves at a crossroads marked by challenges and solidarity. However, the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and the energy crisis have redefined partnerships within Europe and with external nations. Europe has a population of 450 million with a 20 trillion economy. European nations are now striving for greater energy independence and diversification of supply chains. The evolving landscape is a reminder that geopolitical tensions can lead to regeneration of innovation and cooperation, making it a pivotal time for emerging markets, including India. Europe is now the actual land of freedom. To my own country, United Kingdom, and Subhash knows I always say I'm proud to be British, proud to be Hindu, and proud to be Raghuvanshi. Europe, our neighbors, America, our allies, maybe not for long, but the Commonwealth is our family, and India is the largest member of the Commonwealth. After Brexit, we were free from the directives of Imperial Brussels. The focus was on global Britain, and we don't want global to be a slogan. We want to take it seriously. It was and is a time to unleash the British tiger at last. Central to this growth, economic growth comes from innovation, new ideas, new habits, new technologies like AI, and new markets, particularly the Commonwealth. 54 countries with a huge population. This is where our potential lies. Hence, Prime Minister Cameron and Prime Minister Rishi set up a program of trade envoy, and until recently, I was Prime Minister's trade envoy to Uganda, Rwanda, and DRC. And I'll quote a quote from President Reagan on the government's view of the economy. If it moves it, tax it. If it keeps moving, regulate it. And if it stops moving, subsidize it. This is the very reason our Shivani Raja could not be here. She was passing a bill yesterday to subsidize British Steel, to stop British Steel going into bankruptcy. And of course, I'll talk very briefly about UK. there have been outcry of Rachel Reeves' budget, recent budget, high taxation, national insurance up, inheritance tax up, and the rules change on domicile. And there is a large number of people now. There's a huge exodus from United Kingdom to Dubai, to Singapore, and to many other countries, but predominantly Dubai. And I say to my friends here, in fact, one of my very dear friends, Shilen Thakra, is somewhere here. He has just left United Kingdom to settle here, but he's continued having his UK business and UK family there. So it's nice to have your foot in another country as well. But I say personally, I was talking to a few people, Sanjay Rugadi, who's here, who heads our business part of our Lohana community in England, that we, the British Indians, the British Lohanas, we are made in Britain. Not because we live in Britain, because Britain lives in us here. I say that because Britain has made us what we are and who we are. What has Britain done to us? Given us all the opportunities, but most important, education to our children. And I can say, Surubai, our UK children, the new generation Lohanas, are shining out in the City of London. I'll now take Africa. And there are people here like Catherine and others in this room. Africa is a continent very close to my heart, where I spent my childhood. I was born in Uganda. Africa is the next frontier for trade and investment. Africa has huge potential. With a population of 1.3 billion, Africa has 54 countries. The continent itself is bigger than China, US, Europe, and America put together. It is 6 of the 10 fastest growing economies in the world. 17% of the world population, but only 3% of GDP, a global GDP of 3%. So you can see the potential Africa has in the long run. In fact, the 17% population, 1.3 billion, will double in 30 years. So you see a quarter of the world population will be African. And as a former Ugandan and a trader envoy, I've seen the resilience and potential of the African continent firsthand. 24 million people are added to its cities every year, the fastest middle-class growth anywhere in the world. Africa is a forefront of emerging markets, displaying vast untapped resources and a youthful population eager to engage with global economies. There's a huge room for growth. In fact, the African Free Trade Agreement that was put in place this year will see Africa trading with each other, free movement of goods and services. It will give an increase of 2% of the GDP. Let's take an example of Zambia. It's known for the production of copper and nickel, whilst Congo supplies about 70% of the world's copper. And talking about Congo, DRC is the richest country in the world. $30 trillion worth of minerals underground. And one of the fastest growing, the largest company in DRC in mining is owned by our fellow Lohana. He's seated here, Chetan. Chetan doesn't just help DRC's economic growth or create employment, he's also a great philanthropist. But him and Pradeep Dabecha are the two largest contributors to our Lohana community worldwide. Strengthening ties between India and Africa and the UK offers unique opportunities for trade and investment as we harness our collective resources and knowledge to drive progress and innovation. However, there are two major challenges Africa has. One is tribalism. The conflict between Rwanda and DRC is more to do with tribalism. And secondly, corruption. Corruption holds back every aspect of economic and civil life. It will limit development of the country as a whole. And talking about African democracies, I heard this morning that, we in Britain, we look at Africa with a bended lens. Countries poor, tribalism, dictatorship, civil wars, no democracy. But let me say Africa is a young democracy. This is new Africa we are dealing with. Africa is a growing democracy. It takes effort and dedication to make it work. Multi-party elections are common, albeit often flawed. Africa is on the way to becoming more democratic. Politics is becoming more competitive. There is free press and open society. And the opposition holds the government to account on a regular basis. I'll rush now, because of time limit, to Asia and Middle East. In fact, Middle East will be soon. Middle East will be Europe, what Europe is today. So as we turn our gaze to Asia, the dynamics between India and Russia deserve special attention. India is not just rising, it is assuming a crucial role in shaping the new world order. Under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India's initiative like Atmanirbhar Bharat aim to transform it into a global manufacturing and investment hub. Meanwhile, Russia's assertiveness on the global stage has often brought challenges, but it has also opened avenues for India to strengthen its diplomatic relationship. Modi and Putin, I believe they'll be meeting very soon, aim to shift the world order. Currently, India-Russia bilateral trade stands at $60 billion per year, with both countries looking to double the trade through expanding trade routes and supply chain. This interplay enables us to see India as a mediator, bridging divides and fostering collaboration, changing power structures. With India projected to become the world's third largest economy by 2027, encouraged by record foreign direct investment and major poverty alleviation. We are seeing a powerful narrative of economic growth and inclusivity. As we embrace strategic initiatives such as Make in India and Digital India, India is positioning itself not only as a huge market, but a vital solution provider for global challenges. In this context, a partnership between India and the Gulf, which we heard from Satish Kumar a few minutes ago, represents a golden era of collaboration. And Satish Kumar, I'm glad there's a big presence of India and Gulf in terms of trade and investment. And if you look at the historical culture and economic bonds we share, have strengthened it in unprecedented ways. The UAE substantial investment in India infrastructure and the comprehensive economic partnership agreement presents new opportunities that will benefit us all. There's more to say on this, but Satish has covered it very well. Satish Kumar, you covered it exceptionally well. It's a new era for Middle East and India, and I guess about 3 million Indians working in UAE. So let me conclude to my fellow Lohanas worldwide. I challenge you to seize this extraordinary moment in history. Our community's business spirit is our greatest asset, as Satish Bhai said earlier, enabling us to connect, collaborate, and create innovative solutions. As India rises and Africa emerges, we possess a unique ability to leverage our roots in Gujarat, applying our business acumen to foster a prosperous future for all. This is not just India's time, this is our time. The time for Lohana community to lead, innovate, and invest in this new world order. Innovation is key. Innovation is a parent of prosperity, but it is a child of freedom. Together, let's strive toward a future rich with opportunity and collaboration, making our place in history with pride and purpose. Thank you.